Hello, Costas. It's always a pleasure to talk with you and RC Special. Involved RC Racing and EFRA buggy? Yes, EFRA buggy since 1992, my first Euros, Lyon, Spain. That is 32 years ago. Many years as a Spanish team manager, so I know the rules and how to bend the rules and how to amend the rules and how to, use the rules. And then I think it's like 21 or 22 years as section responsible, because I invented the ECB, and the first ECB was in 2004. And then later on I invented the Euro Plus 40, which is already since 2012, so more than 12 years. And my latest incorporation has been the electric 8 buggy. So, as I said, more than 32 years and always trying to improve. Why do I think EFRA and IFMAR events want it buggy are fully booked and are prestigious? Because they are. That's it. Because we are trying to make the best race possible for all. We are not looking for profits, for benefits, for the organizers, for money, for anything like that. I have been criticized today because I am doing this job for more than 30 years on a goodwill basis and not being paid salary. Come on, I do it for love of the sport. I do it because I love to help the people, and I do it because I want to do it. I've done it for free for Spain for many years as a Spanish team manager. And then I have worked for free for EFRA for many years, and I will keep on working for free. I have never charged EFRA for any legal advice I have given, although the people in EFRA has charged them for some things they have done in the past, I mean. It is not my intention to do it so. I am a fully believer that yes, they say no, if you are amateur you will never be able to be professional in this hobby and everything like that. I mean, we are aiming to arrive to carry this hobby to another level, but this is not by forcing the companies to pay more money and silly events that lead you to nowhere based on pretending image that is never arriving. Pretending. I have to say, EFRA will keep on working to make the best event ever, and we have to look carefully how we spend the EFRA money in order to make the race better and better. It is much more wiser to put the money where it should be than to throw the money every year to the litter without giving anything back to the roots. When I talk about roots, I talk about drivers, I talk about clubs, I talk about national federations. We need the national federations. We cannot ignore the national federations. Those are the EFRA members, the different countries. And inside the different countries, they are fighting their asses to keep on with national championships, with regional championships. Come on, that's not easy neither. If it is difficult in EFRA, I can imagine how difficult it is to hold a national championship, come on, in anywhere in Europe, with fewer drivers every day and things like that. So, we need to give them something back. We will arrive someday. I don't know if I will be here or not to keep on doing it. I am still strong enough, but in some moment after more than 30 years involved, probably it's the time to think on someone who has a goodwill to do it properly. But what I will not leave this is in the hands of someone that will try to use it to eschew the heritage we have obtained. Today, with the opening ceremony of the Olympic Games in Paris. When I saw them on the boat, I said, hey, this looks like our opening ceremonies on the parade of the Nations Parade trackside. And I said, then we are not so bad. We are not so bad. Obviously, we don't have those singers, Lady Gaga, and all that, but that's a different history. In the past, we were able to have some music live and so that. And we had music live, but it was okay. It was disco music, so it's a different concept. But you see, we are not far away from super professional organizers that have salaries of million euros just for being in the Olympic Committee. We are not. Why did Redovan get the walls? Okay, that's a good question and also a super problematic question to me. The moment I learned as EFRA section chairman and as a friend of FAMER that FAMER gonna refuse the organization of Brazil due to circumstances in Sao Paulo, and learning that they're gonna offer an alternative candidate that is gonna be Buenos Aires, I consider it immediately, and I did it like it so, to offer to IFMAR as EFRA responsible for that, either Redovan or Barcelos as the best suitable, immediately ready to run in less than 6 months a world championship. I offered that, and the answer from IFMAR was, we want Redovan as Barcelos will be the venue for the electric bulls next year. So we want Redovan. That was the answer from IFMAR. Okay, then there are people crying because we didn't open a procedure to vote to decide which is the venue or which is not the venue inside Europe, that many countries want to do it. Okay, first of all, in Europe, to organize a world championship, it must be done with fuel at 25% nitro content. And that is only able to be achieved in very, very few countries in Europe. Among those, Spain and Portugal, Redovan and Barcelos. The other candidates that offer themselves unofficially, not through their federations, were tracks in Italy, tracks in Germany, and hardly I can't recall any other. So they were out of the equation immediately, because at those countries you cannot raise more than 16%. So forget about it. So the selection was among Redovan and Barcelos, and IFMAR choose was Redovan. And you see now that when it had happened that due to noise problems with neighbors, and although willing to invest more than $100,000 to create a noise protection barriers, Costa Rica has had to desist from organizing the Walls 110 because, on road I mean, because the works will be done on time, but the permits from the city to, after checking that the noise protections are okay, may not arrive on time. And due to this politics, again, this is going back. And then in IFMAR, which is the point I want to arrive, is the rule is that if someone refuses at 24 months before the event its will to organize something, it goes to the next block in rotation. But after the 24 months mark, if someone during the preparation of an event has to refuse, the event goes backwards to the previous organizer. And why that in IFMAR? because it was considered that the previous organizer has already the knowledge of how to do the things, has already most of the things in place, which is exactly what is happening with Redovan. Everything is there, we all know the facility, we all know the quality, and everything in there. That's why we are, EFRA is 100% safe that Redovan will be an excellent event. And the event of Costa Rica has gone backwards to the previous organizer, Bangkok. Exactly at the same venue where they were 2 years ago. Why that? In whole Asia and Australia, Oceania, because that organizer is already ready to put the show on, because they have the experience and the knowledge, exactly the same as Redovan. So that is the reason for such a rule, and that is the reason why in Europe it has come back to Redovan. Although, as I said, and I can prove it because I've done it on writing, I have offered EFRA both Barcelos and Redovan. What a difficult question. Best memory or top 3 best euros as organization. Everyone has always something good, and nearly no one has anything bad to say about those. But to put one in front of another will be kindly unfair. My memory says Slow in England, excellent event. Reims in France, excellent event. But those were from the past. Even I can say, even I go farther deep in my memories, then I can say Lombik when Katochi wins. That was 97 or something like that. Excellent event. But I have to say Barcelos and Redovan. And probably the first time we came to Chile, 2015, with Boots winning. Don't forget him as a candidate. But come on, things evolve and things change. I think it's much more easier to talk about best events in terms of the walls. Mainly to me, because I have done, and I have it in one of my old computers, done a comparison of many EFRA walls. The comparison chart I made evaluates everything, and Bewley from UK was absolutely amazing from start to the end. Remember the banquet, the Queen tribute band, the whole event, the facilities, the scenario, everything. Then also everything might be highlighted as a superb event, but there I have to say hats off again to Redovan, and I am sure pretty soon Barcelos will arrive to the same level at walls with the electric walls next year. Jesus Christ. Thrilling and, up to the very last second of the race. It was a game among 3-4 guys, Kilix, Canas, Ongaro, and other outsiders willing to come, and the people improving, and the track holding quite well, and Jesus Christ. It was not easy to say who is gonna make it or not. At the end, on the very last ones, it was only Canas or the Killick who can make it. And at the end, it went for the Spaniard. With his final was faster than the other. But remember, it doesn't only depend on you, because any other, for instance, Coelho, who has achieved the fastest lap of the race up to the moment, did that on the last round. So Coelho can be also a contender later on. Okay, the question about practicing on the track before the race, it is something absolutely new. The new rule says that this is limited to a certain time, and before I had to make any opinion, I had to find the facts. For instance, I was not able to know if the laps given were fast laps or just rolling laps or testing jump laps. No one knows, because no one has driven, up to my knowledge or in front of my eyes, the layout of the track. Then, when I arrived to the track, I went to talk to Davide and ask him about what had happened. And he says what he did. And then I said, okay, Davide, you have gone slightly too much far from what was permitted. I said, hey, Carlos, and that's quite okay. If I would have will to screw the people, I just disconnect my transponder and I may have been able to give thousands of laps. So forget about me willing to cheat. I was testing the track to test that the track was worth the effort to put in the event, and that no further charges are going to be needed by the Miguel and his girl Lauda. With such an answer, considering all the facts and all the proofs I have, because I need to have proofs, I asked to him and kindly asked to skip the very first practice to equalize the level with the rest of the contendants. And at the end, the level has been equalized. He is not the poleman. That's it. I didn't know there was any issue about that with Coelho. Yeah, the issue with the box is for many people. The box this box here in Italy was quite new. I compared it to the EFRA one, and it was the way the cars handled was exactly the same. Alex was taking care of that. So it is the same problem we may all have. If the manufacturers carry the cars to the limits, and you look for the limit of the width of the car, then finally you will touch the walls. That's it. And that's not correct. So if your car is stuck. Don't worry. Tomorrow, on the finals, not a single car will have a single problem on that. It's always, always every single racer is trying to find the limits of an organization and of an organizer. So if you are too gentle with them, they're gonna abuse on you. So it's something like that. So you need to put a limit somewhere and be firm on that limit. This is what we have done. And compared to yesterday, today, I think there have been very few or none problems at technical inspection. Some people not aware of the rules were pretending to put a protest after the final over the result of Ronefalk because he was hand counted several times by the lap counter because his transponder got a temperature of 90 degrees and started to have some failures. That protest was presented at the end because EFRA clearly explained that the EFRA rules oblige the lap counter to count the laps of a transponder failure, which is absolutely different than non-mounting the transponder. Because if the problem is that the transponder was unplugged, then it would have been the responsibility of Ronefalk. But that transponder not working is just a mechanical problem, and if we can count the laps, the lap counter is obliged to do it so. He did it so because he had a man on his right hand And we have done that during the whole week to several drivers, not only to Ronefalk on the final. For instance, in the junior final, we have counted nearly all laps of Remy Bermudez, who ended second. So it's like that. Main objectives of the referees in the final. Come on, not in the final, in every single run, even the lowest final, to have a clean race and to penalize if a driver is acting against the rules or abusing on the track or on the marshals or on the pit lane or on the many circumstances that may happen. A referee is not there to screw anyone. A referee is to make a race fair. Fair racing is the name of EFRA, or aim. We are here to give a referee for everyone. The problem is we have 12 cars on track. I did also the improvement from 10 to 12, and we didn't have. We increased the number of cars on the track from 10 to 12, which is at 20%, and we didn't increase the eyes of the referees on at 20%. No, the two referees are still the same, two referees. There are no three referees. So the chances that two pairs of eyes may not see everything happening on the track is there. And again, the referee is a human being, and human can commit mistakes, but I can swear you, and mainly the EFRA referees are always trying to do their best for the event and for the participants. A good image is never a target for a referee. Fair racing, yes, it is. Clean racing is. And respecting the rules is also a name in the game. I cannot. There is much more to say, but I have to say, Mark Stetson is a hell of a referee. We may not be 100% on the same mood in certain matters, but when it comes to action on the track, we have always considered the situations in the same way. So I have to say he is fair, because I am fair. My opinion about the designated tire? Well, it's going to be a success for sure. Let's go one by one. Here, actually, I have top drivers asking me to go that way as well. Probably talking with one profile per brand or something like that. We will have to, I am sure, next year, ECB should be valid to be done also on a designated tire. ECB. So imagine next year we may have the over 40s and the ECB on designated tire. Then the next step probably will be the electric event. I will not say immediately. And the last, and probably the most difficult, but I will not say impossible, will be the ECA. For example, keep in mind, this race is all about the tires. And basically it's like that. The cars doesn't make the difference. The engines doesn't make the difference. The skill of the drivers obviously are there, but come on, they are all professionals. So at the end, if you have the right material on tires, you make the difference. Aerosol walls in the future? Okay, actually, designated tires at electric walls, so why not? But I don't think this 1.8 buggy is ready to arrive at walls level neither. Come on. First of all, I am completely against warm-ups. It's a no sense in obliging people to spend the money to go to nowhere to do nothing, but to learn the track. For that, you go on a weekend or a practice weekend or whatever, and you will have much more track time, and you don't oblige the organizer. The only reason for a warm-up is to test the organization, not to test the track, not to test the facilities. It's just to test that everything is running smoothly and everything is properly done. Yeah, I have to say, for instance, going Bischofing the last year on the warm-up of the electric thing on that Easter race they have, I discovered that the position of the antenna was absolutely wrong. Okay. If I would have been here in Chile for a warm-up, I would have discovered that the antenna is not in the best place from lap counting point of view. Let's say the lap counting booth is on the left side of the rostrum and the antenna is on the farther right side of the truck. Shouldn't be like that. The antenna should be visible easily from lap counting tower, not just from one corner. But that's okay. The only things positive out of a warm-up, that you can improve the track layout and so on, but the only positives are coming from me being there, or me, I don't care, me. Someone from EFRA, someone with the knowledge, with common sense, with 2 fingers on brain, able to think a little, not worried about, I want to be fast, I want to be fast, I want to be fast. This is not my name. My name is I want to give the best track for everyone. That's it. How much the track will change? I think a lot. The works have not started yet. Ismail from Trapatrack will do it soon. He's a worldwide motocross track designer. I think the main parts that will remain will be the whoops, and if there are brick sections or something like that. The rest, everything may change. When I say may, it's may. I don't know what they are planning to change. I don't know if the Baldos even know what is the plan of Ismail on Ismail head. I really, really don't know. How much change will the track have? Much. I don't know how. I think 80%. But I can't swear anything because I don't know. Do I think that without a warm-up the results will be different than normal? Let me think 1 second about this. Thank you, Costas, for this interview. I love how you focus normally the sport, and I hope we will see you soon somewhere trackside.